Hey guys, it's Lava here, and today I've got a strategy for you, and it is what I call the Hydra Bling strategy, and Bling stands for Baneling, and it's basically the strategy I would use against Terran, because I'm finding that it's hard to verse Terran without doing some sort of Baneling opener. So what we're going to be doing is, I don't do any scouting this map because I'm versing a hard AI, and this is the first time testing this strategy, so I wanted to more focus on what's happening at my base, because I knew he'd go for a Marine Marauder build because all bronze level Terran players do, even though this is a computer. Hard level computers are most likely what most bronze players are like. So this is a very good strategy for a beginning Zerg player going against a Terran. So my first Overlord, I like to put it around this ramp if I'm not scouting. And for long maps like this, where it take forever to scout, you might as well send a drone at like 13 or 12 instead. And not sacrifice your Overlord, because by that time he'll most likely have a Marine. So, gonna do standard opener for eco games, which is a 14 pool. And Zerg should always have more harvesters than the opponent. And I do make one mistake here where I don't expand to a third or fourth base because I'm worried at the end of the game about my macro, and I mean about controlling my my ending units, then macroing up some more eco. But at 14, go ahead, place your spawning pool, and right after, it's so important that you get this gas. When you get this gas, it'll help you get your banelings out faster, and it'll just help all around against what the Terran does. So most Terrans are either gonna go for 1 racks, or they're gonna go for 2 racks very early in the game. Gonna get one with a tech lab and one with a reactor. It's so standard for Terran players to just go this early MM push into siege tank MM push. And that's what almost every Terran does, so Blizzard really got it right in this AI programming. So the spawning pool is about to be finished, and make sure you have 16 for a queen. Now what I was doing is waiting for a baneling's nest. I should have had more gas. I should have popped my gas down earlier. So this queen was waiting for a bit, but it's not that big of a deal. Obviously, if you're playing in silver or higher, it would be a much bigger deal because every second counts. But refinery is going up for the Terran player. Just getting his gas now. We'll call him Plur2, because I don't want to call him Player 2, so it's Plur2. And Plur2 is getting another SCV, and if we look at income, it's my 16 harvesters to his 17. But I have double gas now. Not going to be putting 3 guys on that double gas yet. I don't think I put it on until the banelings nest pops. And what this Overlord's going to do is going to go right over here, and that's going to help scout any aggression going here. So I've got an Overlord at my ramp, Overlord at the rocks, and I'm going to have an Overlord right here. Actually, no. This Overlord goes all the way over here. So I'm going to have an Overlord at the natural of the enemy, just right around here, so we can see when these minerals are glowing. Like, if a mineral is being gathered from, you can see these lines. If you've got an Overlord here, right around here, they won't be able to see it, but you'll be able to see if it's glowing or not, meaning they have the expo. I like to do that because it shows whether or not you need to get an expo or not. So I'm getting my first base here, and I usually go to natural, but versing Terran players, I find it so difficult to maintain that natural without a bunch of spine crawlers. So I'm going to get this hidden first base. Baneling's nest is up, and now you're going to want to mix what you're making with drones and Zerglings until you get nice around 20-something harvesters. You don't need a metabolic boost for this build, because you're not going with lings at all. It's a Hydra Bling build, and these 2 banelings that you make in the very beginning will help use some of your gas up and basically just ward off any really early pressure. But so you can see a Marine Marauder, 1 tech lab, 2 tech labs, 2 Marauders, maybe some map hacks, maybe, because usually they wouldn't be able to scout that, and he hasn't seen my base at all, so why he's going more Marauders than Marines is beyond me. But he's getting infantry weapons level 1 really early. I don't like to get upgrades until I can afford 2 Evo Dens, so I can get, unless I'm going for a Roach Hydra build, then I'll get an early Evo Den, but usually if I'm going for upgrades, I'll get 2 Evo Dens after I've got a 2 base. So he is moving out here, and we've got a giant force of banelings. Now, what you're going to want to do with all these banelings is split them up, because a surround with banelings is a lot better. Now, what this player does is he's going to come up this ramp, and he's going to go all the way right to here. This is really bad, because a real player would go straight in here in a bronze level. So you'd be able to surround from the back and then surround from the front. That's what I was going to do. But somehow it decides to go all the way over here with the Marauders, spotting my banelings and killing. This is so bad micro on my part. I lose 3 banelings there. 4 banelings for nothing. And then that's the power of the banelings. I try to micro my queen around here, taking out 1 marauder, and the rest are all in the red, trying to take out another. Not gonna happen. I pull him back, or pull her back, and right around now you should put up your Hydra den. It's not gonna give your enemy enough time to respond, and with this heavy marauder build that he's going into, because he saw the banelings, he's not gonna be able to pump out enough marines to deal with your Hydras. And I do have this doing nothing here. As I said, my macro and micro isn't very good in this game because I'm trying to focus on this strategy. Now, now that you've got some Hydras out, you're going to want to mix it with Hydras, and then when you're out of gas, get some Lings. And those Lings will be able to be turned into Banelings. And get your centrifugal hooks right around after you tech to layer, and you have like 5 or 6 Banelings out. Centrifugal hooks is going to be really helpful, and so is grooved spikes. So 3 more Hydras coming out, and he's getting Hellions. Plur 2 is getting Hellions, and they are really good against Hydras, so we'll see how that goes. Tech lab going on this, and I told you most Terrans transition to the siege tanks. That's what we're going to be seeing right here, and more Hellions still coming out. He's got 2 factories, so weird build order, but it's very neat, so that's good. More Lings, 1 spine crawler. Spine crawlers are so important in this game, and also another thing that's really important for Zerg players, if your queen has 50 energy and there's a spawn larva already active on this, you might want to just pop down a little creep tumor here to help spread the creep across the map. This SCV is scouting to see if I've taken the gold, which I should have done already, considering I believe I have a pool of minerals. Yes, I do. And this SCV is going to scout that I have a defenseless base with barely any saturation, and he is going to be like, ooh, that is good, and look how many drones I'm making here. It's such a mistake. But right when I see that SCV, I believe I pop up a few spine crawlers, and this is what I'm talking about, the Hydra Bling army. It's going to dominate any marauder force. And Hydras cause the Terran player most likely to get Marines or Siege Tanks. And Banelings are good for both. I believe Siege Tanks don't do extra damage to them. So they'll get 2 shot. No, they will get 1-shotted by Siege Tanks. But your Hydras can take out the Siege Tanks. Or you can get Lings with your army to help take out the Siege Tanks if the enemy is going Siege Tanks. So he's going to see my army here. Maybe we'll just snipe that SCV. But he did see my Hydras. It's always good. This is why I'm keeping a few Lings in the army, because it's so important to have these Lings to take out the siege tanks if the opponent is going siege tanks. Now the first base for the Terran is going up, and he is attacking here. Now this was a decision I really made actually pretty fast in the decision not to defend that base, but to go take this time where his army's out of his base to counterattack. And this is bad display of micro. Letting my Banelings get ahead of my Hydras, really not a good idea. That's why creep is so important, because it makes Hydras so much more better, so much more viable in your Zerg army. And right about now, you could also be getting an infestation pit, because it'll really help you be able to immobilize the Marines and take them out with the Banelings. But I am microing these Banelings away, not wasting any of them, and I am able to only lose 1 Baneling unnecessarily, and the rest go on the siege tank, and then my Hydras just move in here taking no damage. And his army's coming back. Gonna be able to take it out easy. He's waiting here right now, probably for reasons I do not know. Sends his Hellions in first. That's a bad move. And my micro here isn't very good, but I do take out this whole army, and I do have reinforcements constantly coming on the way. currently no production right now, which is so bad. I'm just not good at macroing, and I have to get really better on that, and I know that, but the strategy is really good for bronze level Zerg players. More Hydras here, gonna be coming up this ramp to reinforce this army, and as you can see here, this is so important also. If you've got a unit on low health, you are gonna want to select him, move him to the back of your army, so he can still do damage with that Hydra increased range, and not get killed as easy. Do lose a Hydra here, due to mismanagement, and I believe now my Hydras are going to block off these SCVs and then run in here and reinforce where the player does GG. And thank you for watching, and subscribe, comment, and rate. And if you want to see more strategies, just press the like button and that'll tell me. So yeah, thanks for watching. And as you can see here, I've got constantly more Hydras coming. And I'm mining off a 1 base, which I could have made an in-base hatchery at this point since I knew I was going to win just to get those reinforcing Zerglings. Or I could have expanded to move into the late game. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.